Hello everybody, welcome back to another reading. Today we're taking a look at the case of Lucy Studey, or rather Lucy Studey's father. Now Lucy Studey claimed, I believe sometime last year, that her father had murdered 70 women over the years. This happened in Fremont County, and the Fremont County Police are looking into this case. This is still an open investigation. The Fremont County Police has actually gone to the location and used cadaver dogs to check it out. The cadaver dogs did indicate in a few different spots, but like I said, no remains have been found so far, to my knowledge. Now, her father is already deceased, so we certainly can't ask him any questions, and I do believe that Lucy has stopped responding to requests for interviews, at least from the press. And since it is still an open investigation, the police are not really looking to share too much, so there isn't a whole lot that we know so far. So we're going to do a reading today with the tarot to see if we can glean anything about this situation. We're going to start with the Tarot Mucha deck, which is already on the table, and for any further questions, we're moving on to the Modern Witch Tarot. As per usual, I'm just going to start shuffling the deck. As soon as we have enough cards, I'm going to stop and we're going to take a look. So without much further ado, let's get started. Okay, so the first thing we see here, the first one that popped out was the Eight of Swords, and followed by the Six of Pentacles and the Eight of Pentacles in reverse. Now, the Eight of Swords is a mental entrapment. You're stuck in a certain mindset. It could be that you're troubled mentally. That is the first thing that came to mind. Like maybe there's something going on in her mind that leads her down a certain path. We do see here the Six of Pentacles, which is normally like a charity card. You see this person weighing out whatever it is that they feel like giving to the people that are bowing before them. So really lording over things. And then we have the Eight of Pentacles in reverse, which is an interesting combinations. Like she may not have had to work for certain things that she has, or she feels like she shouldn't have to work for certain things like that, because the Eight of Pentacles, of course, is focused work. It's the craftsman trying to get better at their craft and possibly make their wages that way. But instead we see here somebody looking for a charity or perhaps trying to hand stuff out. But because of this Eight of Swords, I'm thinking that this may be the mindset that they're in. Like they feel like they deserve these things and they shouldn't have to work for things. So this might be somebody who feels like they deserve a handout, which of course I don't know her personally, no idea. But these three cards seem to point in that direction. The next cards that we have are the Six of Wands, the Ten of Swords in reverse, and then we have the Eight of Cups. Okay. So the Six of Wands is somebody being triumphant, could be somebody being in the limelight, and the Ten of Swords is rather somebody feeling like they're very hard done by. Usually this is the card where people feel in the darkest of the night, but normally there is a sunrise waiting for them to brighten up their day, basically. It's in reverse though, so either they feel permanently like they are always in the darkest part of the night, like the dark night of the soul type of thing, and they're trying to get out of that with the Eight of Wands, or they feel like they might be getting out of it by the actions that they are taking, which we see here. Eight of Cups might be walking away, might be distancing themselves from something emotionally, Perhaps this is an attempt at getting out of that mindset by trying to be the hero, trying to come forward and be lauded, I guess, because he does have that wreath here, which reminds me of like Roman emperors that were like hailed and like paraded through the streets to be cheered on by people, which is literally what's happening in the background. So maybe she is looking for that type of greeting, that type of hero worship, maybe. Let's see, we have judgment on the next row, which is an interesting combination then, because it looks as though the top row is her trying to square something with herself, with her emotions, maybe also with her past, feeling like she deserves something. And then the next row we have judgment here, the Two of Cups, and the King of Swords. All right, let me just grab these three. So maybe she felt really hard done by after a while. This may be after she made the announcement, and instead of, I guess, coming forward or taking any other actions, we see here this Two of Cups with the King of Swords, which to me suggests that maybe somebody else stepped up to be on her side. Maybe someone who's really good with words, because this does feel like a different person. I don't think that this is Lucy herself, particularly because of the woman on the card really leaning into the man right there in the Two of Cups. Now, the Two of Cups can also be that you're subscribing to a certain mindset or some type of thought pattern as well, signing up for some type of group, some type of club, something along those lines. So maybe this person represented them as well. But in any case, after this judgment is called upon her, and the feeling of judgment in any case, she feels drawn towards this King of Swords. It seems like they may now be their savior. We see the Four of Pentacles next to that. We'll get to these two in a moment. And then we have Temperance, and we have the Lovers in reverse. So we're weighing our options with this Four of Pentacles, and we're also not really taking too much care balancing our emotions. So this is basically just a resource type action that's being taken. Maybe this King of Swords stepped in as like, okay, we need to take care of our business real quick because this might be getting out of hand. They kind of acted a little bit harshly, perhaps a little bit quickly, because Temperance is often like, okay, slow down, it's okay, just make sure to stay in balance. And this is rather the opposite of that, like they are taking hurried actions. And then the Lovers in reverse may point towards this connection that they made earlier kind of getting out of hand as well, because this is a very dramatic Lovers card. If you look at it, there's like stuff on fire, there's like this angel lording over them that does not look pleased, to be quite honest, like almost like they don't appreciate this union. Maybe they are trying to push them together, I don't know. But there is of course the Adam and Eve reference here with the snake in the tree with the apples, which I'm pretty sure are the knowledge apples. The burning bush in the background, of course, it has a lot of biblical imagery, but it looks very dramatic. So it's like they're being pulled into this, the mindset that the Two of Cups may have pointed towards. Like they've really knuckled down, pulled all their eggs in the same basket, so to speak, and it's mostly to do with guarding their own resources and making decisions to try and keep those the way they want them. Now we had a few extra cards pop out, so let's take a look at them next, if I can just get these to go back. All right, so we have here Knight of Swords and the Page of Cups, and they're both in reverse. So that is a negative surprise that they were not expecting, and somebody whom is possibly speaking before their turn, maybe. It could be that they spoke too soon, and that led to all sorts of negative surprises that they were not expecting, because it is in reverse. It could be that instead of this being the part where people react to her confessions, it could be that's that what we're seeing over here now. Like all this was leading up to it, like somebody was like, okay, you really need to do this because I say it's a good idea. Somebody may have spoken too soon, may have said a few wrong things. In any case, again, in a hurry, which kind of matches with the Temperance card over there as well. Like they're in this situation where they're both kind of like tied together and in this thought pattern where they think that everything that they're doing makes perfect sense, but the outside world may have other opinions about that. That's what I'm getting with this. So this is probably the point where they stop responding, because I do believe, at least what I heard, she was no longer giving interviews, and so maybe they've just decided that the amount of attention that they've gotten was a little bit too much, more than they can handle. Let's see what we can find out, because so far all we're really seeing is from Lucy's point of view whether or not she's in a good place and how she's doing, how she's feeling. But of course there were allegations made. Now let's see if there's anything true about that. Let's ask for some cards on the allegations. Okay, that's probably not all of them going to be relevant, so let's try to shuffle these separately. About the allegations, what can we know about that? One of them jumped out. Knight of Swords again, so they may have spoken too soon. They may have perhaps made the story seem crazier than it really was. And what's this card right here? Magician in reverse. Okay, so this kind of sounds to me like they may have said things that they now regret, and they've set them in a mind frame, like a mindset where they weren't quite on top of their game. They may have spoken a little too harshly or said things that they don't really mean. Whatever reason they may have for that, I don't know, but it looks like maybe what she's telling is not entirely the truth. Let's see what else we can find though. Oops. These three. What do we have? We have Six of Swords, being led by somebody else, possibly also being influenced by other people's words. Ace of Pentacles in reverse and the Seven of Cups. Okay, so there is, yeah, this may have been some type of initiative to maybe, like I said over there, try to get some resources out of it. It's underneath these two, actually, the two Pentacles cards that were underneath here. They may have thought that this might get them some type of financial or resource benefits, and they were definitely wishing for that. Seven of Cups over here, if wishes were horses, the poor would ride, that type of thing. Like they're really wishing for a better future, perhaps. And the one cup that really drew my attention was the one with all the money and the goodies in it. So maybe they were hoping that this would lead them to something like a better financial situation. I'm thinking maybe they were hoping for interviews, book deals, something along those lines. It sounds mean to say that, but that's what's coming up. Let's go put this over here with the others. Of course, I don't know anything about their situation and all that sort of thing. I'm just going off of what I'm seeing here on the cards, so it's all alleged. Now let's see what else we can find. Like, are we going to find out if this is real or not? Eight of Cups walking away again. So they're really trying to distance themselves from this because I guess they just can't handle the fallout, maybe. But they're walking away twice. We had the Eight of Cups earlier as well over here, right there. Now, of course, it's accompanied by the Page of Wands in reverse, so maybe they're like, okay, I acted a little bit too soon, I acted a little bit too harshly, and I'm going to try to distance away from that. Like, just trying to disappear into the night, literally walking into the night, and hoping that people won't follow them, because their actions were perhaps a little too not thought through enough. A little too head over heels. Let's see. Are we going to find out anything about these allegations? Is this going to get settled? Oh, we've got King of Wands here. Alright, so somebody is probably going to go do something. Something pretty, well, this is somebody who really wants to get things settled. I feel like this is not her, and I don't think this is somebody who is, if you would call it that, on her side. This is probably somebody who really wants to dig into this allegation to see how much of that is true. This is somebody who's probably an expert in that field. There's maybe somebody in law enforcement or just somebody on the side, like a enthusiastic investigator who's just like really looking to settle the score here, because there are some pretty bad allegations, particularly the numbers that she quoted. Okay, we have a little stack here. Probably not all of them are needed. What are we going to find after this? That one plus this one. All right, this is Three of Wands. Okay, so not really going anywhere. And we have the Four of Pentacles in reverse. So that is things not spent correctly. So maybe a waste of time, because the Four of Pentacles normally like balancing your resources, and time is a resource, so probably a waste of time. We also see that things aren't going anywhere with the Three of Wands in reverse, so maybe this investigation isn't going to go anywhere, and people are going to figure out eventually that they've wasted their time. Interesting. Which of course is not to say that they won't find anything, because like I said earlier, cadaver dogs did react to certain areas. Doesn't always mean that there's something there right now, but it could just mean that they're not going to find anything in that particular area. Oh, there's a card here that's about to fall on the floor. We have the Hermits in reverse. Okay, so we're once again trying to hide. Maybe she's really trying to retract herself from the world now. Like maybe she wasn't expecting that there was going to be this much attention on the case. Maybe she wasn't like in the best of headspaces when she started talking about this. Like sometimes people just have a mental breakdown or something. Something's bad happened to them and they start saying all sorts of things and possibly not even believing that people would believe them. But she may be trying to distance herself even further beyond this point. Let's see what else we can get. Like what is the follow-up going to be? Okay, this deck is not looking forward to giving us any more cards. Let's go back. So even the deck is silent. Is there any truth to it? Like maybe he just didn't put them in that location. Maybe there are people to be found elsewhere. Is there any truth to the allegations? We have here Judgment, and there's something underneath. Judgment in reverse next to Temperance. Okay. Okay, so Judgment in reverse. In this case, we saw Judgment already here upright. So it could be that there is nothing to judge. And we do need to be patient, I think. I'm thinking this set of cards right here is telling us that, okay, we probably don't have anything to judge them over. Also, we shouldn't really come for her as a result of this. Like, we should be mild and balanced in our approach to her. So there may be other things going on that may not have anything to do with the allegations that are just her personal issues. And really can't judge people too harshly based on that. Let's ask for a few final cards and then we can call it, I guess. Well, they just jumped out right there. There we go. And we have the Chariot in reverse and the Page of Swords in reverse. All right, so things are definitely slowing down here. And we're speaking words that aren't quite true. So it could be that once again we're pointing towards, yeah, we moved a little too fast and we kind of spoke before our turn, and maybe slow down a little and perhaps try to figure out what is actually true in this situation. So I'm thinking, based off of the cards that we're getting over here, that the allegations are possibly not true, or at least not in the same magnitude in which they were made. And she may have been influenced by somebody else, by that King of Swords that's way in the bottom down there underneath this one, who may have told her like, oh yeah, well, didn't you see something happening? Wasn't that strange? And what if? That type of thing. And maybe she went ahead. It may not even have been somebody who was really there. Maybe she was just influenced by somebody whom she saw on TV or online or something along those lines. Sometimes people just get inspiration from somewhere, and that may lead to them making all sorts of memories. It is possible for somebody to have a false memory after all, but it looks as though, if I were to believe these cards, that perhaps they were mistaken, or they just had like a moment, a lapse in judgment perhaps, that had them making these allegations, but maybe we aren't going to find anything there. And we should be mild in our judgment of her, so don't try to attack her, don't try to chase her down for interviews or anything along those lines. Just kind of leave it be. Let the police do what they do. Let this King of Wands down here do their investigation. They will come up with what is the truth eventually, and we should just wait that out, and in the meantime just leave it be. So that is what I'm seeing for Lucy and her allegations. I hope you found that interesting. If you have any cases that you'd like me to do a reading on, there is a link to a Google form in the description. It's completely anonymous. You can put like the name of the person or the case in there with a little bit of background information, and I'll put it on a list and we'll get to it eventually. In the meantime, I want to thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed that. Hope to see you in another video, and bye bye for now.